Should we start?
Yeah.
So facilitation might come with a topic of facilitation. So in our case, it's a whole life. So there is no specific topic, but there could be many subtopics related to life that can come up. So whether it is a subtopic or a topic, we uh, we have a starting point decided. Somebody is also joining. So that starting point could be anything, but that needs some reference to be captured to begin with. Even if it is an inquiry based facilitation, which can go anywhere in the discussion during the discussion. So we may start with the observation, suppose the topic of observation, that may end up going somewhere else, love, which was not at all captured, not at all thought of, something like that. But then also, to begin with, when we are trying to initiate the facilitation, then there will be a merging of the facilitation and merging of the facilitators also in the process. But as an initiator, you need to have some trigger points. So for that trigger points, there are tools available online. This is the age of technology. There are tools available which you can use and available commercially. It is freely available. There are many tools are there. So we'll talk about a few tools which are commercially available for free to begin with. Right. And even to continue in a professional way also, you keep using the free tools. So we'll begin with the Google Workspace. Google Workspace. It was actually earlier it was called as Google Suite. Google Suite, which has different tools available within. Right? Now, before going into the Google Suite understanding or Google Workspace understanding, let's try and understand what do we mean by recording or collating the trigger points for the facilitation. What are the things that we need? If we know a language, write a language, or know how to write a language, then that could be a help for a facilitator to use those knowledge of language to collect the trigger points. So you need to note down those trigger points. That's a that could be the first step. Now, where to note down? Where to note down? So we have a conventional pen and paper noting down process. You know it. Now that can be possible online as well. Now online, if we are little acquainted with Microsoft Office, then in Microsoft Office there are tools like Microsoft Document, Word document, which allows you to use something as pen and paper. So instead of writing, you will be typing. Now that Word document is a page where you can write the things. It might sound like very boring, right? We know all this. Why are you repeating? Is it? Is it? Anshu? Boring? So
I'm listening from a new perspective.
So this Word document is very helpful tool to record the understanding which is coming time to time within us. So that could be in a form of bullet points or form of article. In any way, you can use the uh, Word document. Now, what is the difference between bullet points and article? Article is an expansion of the bullet points. Bullet points are the triggers. So, which could be the baseline or starting point for any facilitation, noting down the trigger points. From trigger points to the elaboration of the trigger points, which actually converts the trigger points into an article with a deeper understanding, and which will evolve time to time. It's not that whatever you have written today will be relevant after a month or after a year. May be relevant, may not be relevant. So that's one thing. Now there is a you understand the convergence and divergence. Convergence means when a bigger aspect is converged to a smaller aspect is a convergence, and divergence is from a smaller aspect it is going to a bigger aspect. So when you start with a trigger point and diverge into an article, that's a divergence process. Now for facilitation, your own understanding needs to be converged into again bullet points. So you started with some trigger points, suppose some experience, some trigger point, then you expanded, worked upon it. Now with that working, you have to actually bring another convergence, because if you are giving a load of understanding on the audience who you are talking to, they will not be able to connect easily. So you have to start very slowly. So for that, you have to converge the understanding into the bullet points again. So the first trigger points and the bullet points for your presentation. So now we are talking about the presentation that you have to create for the facilitation, to start the facilitation. So for which you need a presentation which will have bullet points, which may not be the same points with which you have started. It has modified and it has taken a different shape altogether, and which can create a presentation for you. And Microsoft PowerPoint presentation is another tool, comes with the Microsoft Office, with which a presentation can be made. Presentation means which is presentable. Now it was a rough note that you were working on the Microsoft Word document, some trigger points, then articles. Now the article can be refined and shared and all those stuff can be possible, but basically you are starting with a rough note. Now after refining it, when you have some concretized understanding, then you bring out, filter out some bullet points which can be presented, which can be now presented and can act as a trigger for the group. The first trigger was for yourself, for you to explore. Now you have concretized some sort of understanding. Ideally it is with the tentativeness, with a momentary conclusion, you have concretized something, and then you are bringing and filtering a few more points for the presentation. So now we have two tools to be used. One is the Microsoft Word and other is the Microsoft PowerPoint. Now Microsoft is just a name, like Colgate is a toothpaste and Pepsodent is also called Colgate. So Microsoft is a company name. Now Word document is a page which can be used, which can be available in other operating softwares also. Microsoft is a very popular software, that's why we keep on using Microsoft. Now coming to the Google tools. Now there are users who do not use Microsoft at all, but for them also there are other tools. Like for an example, Apple users do use notebook, notepad, isn't Anshu? what it's called? I think it's.
I don't know.
You don't know? Just a second. It has a name.
There is something called notes, but I don't know that's what you are referring to.
Yeah. Notes I'm referring to. Notes. Yes. I'm talking about notes.
Okay.
So notes is also a same Word
But
document.
notes
Yeah. Tell me.
notes is nothing like Word documents, totally different. You can only write text. You can add pictures also, but I think Word is much more advanced. As if like how much I have used, I can say that, but maybe I have not explored much.
Now, for writing a trigger points and article, what else we need? Whatever we need,
Yeah,
that is available in the notes.
that is yes.
Right? So, and these forms of advancement will keep on happening in different apps and different tools. But whatever is needed for us, that we need to understand and explore. Right? So these all are these all actually do have a portability. You can use it for the Microsoft Word. You can use it for the notes also. Let me enter from my iPad also so that you can. So those who are not Apple users, for them, let me show the notes. You see the bottom line, the notes app. So this notes app has got this option to type or write anything. You can write also, annotate also, and you can type also. Right. So this what is the writing tool that we are talking about. Now there are different operating system, and in respect to the different operating system, there are different tools available for writing and for presenting. So we were trying to use these two tools for our facilitation to begin with. Now for Apple users, we have this keynote. Do you see a keynote in the third line, second last, this one? Keynote is a replica of the Microsoft presentation. You know? So these are the, so this tool you have seen, we had been using for our workshop a lot. So this is a keynote presentation. So keynote presentation, Microsoft PowerPoint are quite equivalent. As Anshu was proposing, the advancement and different features are different, and there are a lot of advancement in respect to keynotes are also available, and in some other way in presentation also few of the edges are available. Now we started with the Google Workspace introduction. That we will try and understand Google Workspace today. Now, what is this Google Workspace? Google Workspace basically is a pen drive for you on the cloud. Anybody who has not used a pen drive? Nandini, have you used a pen drive?
With assistance.
Right. So pen drive is a storage space that you carry,
Yes.
right? Like a hard
Yes.
disk, like a hard disk.
And
Storage.
yes,
Yeah.
it attaches to that port.
Yes, it attaches to the USB port of a computer, and
Yes.
you can use it attaching to a computer. Now, Google Workspace actually gives you a pen drive on the cloud worth 15 gigabyte GB free, for free. So it's on the cloud. You have a pen drive. So you need not to carry a pen drive. You just need an internet connection to access your work. Now, the work that we are talking today are only, let's keep it limited for now to two things. One is that document, the page, pen and paper, and a space to present, which is presentation. Right. So let's limit our discussion for today on these two things, because that is the starting point of a facilitation. Now, let me share my screen and show you how to use Google Drive. So all of you do have, just a second. So all of you do have Google Mail, Gmail you use, right? Because we have Gmail for all of you recorded while you filled the enrollment form, you gave the Gmail. So Gmail, and anyone who doesn't use Gmail, Nandini, you use an Android phone, right?
That's right, sir.
And you use a Gmail to enter the Android phone, right? And Anshu also uses a Gmail. Anshu, Pinal also, I know. Now, so if you enter your Gmail, this will look like this. So here we are trying to understand for now how to go into the drive from your computer, from your laptop. We'll come to the mobile also, from the tablet also. So now the first benefit that we get from this cloud storage of Google Workspace is that you are free from any specific device. Any device you can use to access your work. It could be a laptop, it could be your phone, it could be your tablet device. Any gadget that you can use, and everything is connected. Right. So when you enter your Gmail from your laptop, then it looks like this. Now you see the right top corner, there is a square with dots. If you click that, then you will find all the tools that are available with the Google Workspace. That's why they started calling it Workspace, which has got a lot of options, starting from search to business profile to map to YouTube to Google Play, news, Gmail. Gmail, you are already on Gmail. Then Google Meet is quite similar to Zoom. There is a software. Then contact, drive, calendar, translate, photos, videos, etc. So we are trying to understand Drive now, Google Drive, because we are trying to understand the Word document and the presentation, or notes and the keynotes, which has got different names in the Drive. Right. So let's try and understand what are those. So the moment you click Drive, then it opens, the Drive opens up. Right. Now you see in the Drive, there are left side, there is a navigation column where my Drive, computers, shared with me, recent, start, trash. 4, 5, 6 options are there. So my Drive is the space of your online pen drive that we talked about, Google Workspace, in which you may have different files saved, which can be shared also with your co-workers and with your even participants. So we'll go one by one, but today we are beginning with Google Docs and Google Slides. Google Docs and Google Slides. Now the folder, so when you click this plus new, you are allowed to create something within the drive. That is as good as saving something in your pen drive, which can be a folder, which can be a file. So a folder is a space where files can be kept. So these are the files. These files can be kept directly onto the drive, or it can be kept on the inside the folder also. Right now, let me show you my drive. So this is the drive with the different names. These are the folders. You see, these are the gray colored folders, and where there is a dot, actually a smiley icon is there, human icon. So it is shared folder, will have human icon. Otherwise, it is a personal folder, which is not shared with anyone. Now you know the difference between the shared folder and a private folder. These are the private folders where you don't see a human icon. So we have this RFP folder here. You see. Now in this RFP folder, you see the program is run on this RFP folder, where one-to-one calls, you remember in the first module we had, in respect to all the participants, we have this one-to-one call folder, which are shared with the individual participants. For example, Anshu's calls are already shared with Anshu. Binal's calls are shared with Binal's. So these are the folders then. Now, for an example, we have this third module. Third module in this Google Suite tutorials is one PDF which is kept. You see, Google Suite tutorial. So this is a standard tutorial. This is not made by us, but it's a Zapier, one company who trains people for Google Suite. So Google Suite is now renamed as Google Workspace. Both are the same. Right. So this is, I think, shared. Let me check who on all it is shared. Okay, it is not shared with all, but I'll share it with all of us. So this is the PDF. Now going back to our primary discussion about okay, so let us do under the third module. Let us create a Word document in the same folder, and this folder I'm going to share with you all so that you can refer. So in this, so what happens, I'll just start from the scratch. You went to the my drive, then it is the respective folder that we selected, RFP. Then in this, the third module folder is there. In this particular folder, we are trying to create a document, which will bring an alert that you want to share it. If the folder is shared already, then the files that you are going to save in this folder will be also shared with the people with which this folder is shared. So you now share it. Now you find, so let us write as a test document. So I'm giving a title to it as text document, test document for third. Now you can do usual stuff that you can do with a Word document, like doing a bold, center line, can increase the text size. You can make it colorful. All these tools are available, right? Now the beauty here of this particular tool is that these are also available on your mobile and tablet device. The same thing what you are doing on the laptop, on the computer, are available on your mobile phones and tablet devices. Now let us check that. Now I'm sharing my iPad screen. Now in this iPad screen, you see a drive. That's an application drive. You see this one. Are you able to identify the drive logo, a triangular logo in the third line, Nandini? Has gone somewhere. So in the drive, this is an app actually. You have to install on your phone or tablet, respectively, whatsoever. If it is an iPad, then you'll find an app store. If it is iPad or iPhone, if it is Android, then you have to download it from the Play Store. So see the same My Drive, as you see the My Drive here at the top. So you see the My Drive is available as it was available for the laptop. Now we have this RFP folder. In this RFP folder, there are folders same, one-to-one calls, additional submission, assignment, second module, notification, submitted applications, third module. In the third module, we had the Google Suite tutorial, and now recently we made it on the laptop, the tech test module. So see the syncing. Since it is on the cloud, it is already available on your other devices also. The same text test document for third module. Edited on the iPad. Right? Now quickly we'll go and check on the phones also. Are you guys getting bored? No? Okay. So I'm trying to enter from my mobile, Android mobile, I'm entering. And the iPhone looks like the same iPad app and all. Now I'm on my phone also. This is my phone. I'm sharing the screen of the phone, which actually in the previous session also we tried once. So now this is the phone screen. In the phone screen, in the Android phones, you'll find a Google folder where the drive is by default available. So where you go to the drive and you find the 2021-2022 RFP folder. And the same thing here, the latest one, last modified, as you see at the top, it is written last modified. So you can arrange the folders in such a way that the last modified appears at the beginning. So there are options actually: last modified by me, last opened by me, storage used, and names, all those things. So now it is selected as last modified, and you see the first folder appearing there is the third module we were working on. And in the third module, there are two files available, and the test document edited on the iPad. Now it is edited on the Android phone. So the same document we are working on any devices. So this is a tool that you can actually use it for your facilitation work. Any question or anything? We have around 7 minutes. If questions are not there, then we'll try and understand something about. Yeah, tell me, Vinay.
So if the folder is shared with someone, in that necessarily the files that would be in that folder will also be shared. There is no option to keep it for oneself.
It can be. It can be like when it is alerted, then you can choose. You can go to the specific file. Let me go and show you. When you go to the specific file, you have this share option at the top. See, do share option. Since the folder was shared, it is shared with this particular Sci Incubation Gmail. So how it is being shared, that is also shown here as an editor or as a viewer or a commenter. Now you can remove the action also, access here. Now this particular file is no more shared. The moment I save it, it is no more shared. Now you see the folder is shared. In the folder, when one will enter, will see that there is a document. But since that document is not shared, that individual needs to seek a permission to access that file. Right? Yes. Nandini, you have missed some portion. By mistake, you kept your video on. So we saw that you were not there. So you're mute. So anyway, you can catch up the recording, because this is somewhat important for you to understand the facilitation. So I request you to go through the recording. Right, and this Google Suite tutorial, if you find time, then you can just flip through. Otherwise, we'll discuss these, whatever. There are a lot of things which are not needed to begin with. So if you feel suitable, this is, I think, 4.4 MB. It's 100 pages or more than that, I think. It's a big document. Right. So, Anshu, anything? Or you're doing meditation?
My eyes are open.
So we have 4 minutes. I'm not starting the slide. Google slide. I think Binal and Anshu are using already Google document. Anything new if you wish to add, then you can. Yeah.
I have not been actually, I mean, I've used it, but I think also in terms of uploading it, you need a Wi-Fi connection, is it?
No.
In some
Normal
cases.
mobile connection. So there are settings actually. We'll go through that setting. There are settings which will need to be enabled to upload ultimately. Otherwise, what is the need of uploading any specific document? You can directly start working there, creating a new document. Like when you when you write your articles, you used to write on the Word document. So what you can do alternatively, you can create a folder on your Google Drive itself, and there you can create a new document, and you can use a template also. You can keep a default template. So as you see, the particular text document, you see the background is not white background. It's a bit grayed background. Do you see in this document? And this grayed background is a template that I have chosen earlier. I've fixed the template, which will be a default template for you. So you can create a template already, and you can keep using it again and again. And then you can share it also by clicking the share button.
After you exhaust the storage limit, then you have the option of buying or delete.
Yes, deleting. Deleting is recommended. Like you download whatever the work that you have done and empty the space. Now, what happens whenever you delete? It goes to the trash. Uh, there is a trash bin. It goes to the trash, and still it is occupied in the space, as far as the space is concerned. So it is a confusion, and it's a business tactics also for Google, that people will then find that there is no space even after deleting. Let's buy some space. But what you have to do, you have to go to the trash bin and empty the trash bin also. Then the space is freed. So it goes to the trash bin for 60 days or 30 days, I think. Yeah.
Or maybe we can create one more email ID and
Yes.
get another.
Yes. And
maybe a way around.
Yeah, there are shared with me option also is there. We'll go for the next session in that. So you can keep multiple emails and shared with each other. So you have 15 into how many emails you have created. That much GB of space. Great. Right, Nandini, will you be able to access the recording?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
This is a bit difficult for me, considering I'm so ideated with.
You cannot do it. You consider that you cannot do
I
it.
have that feeling. Yes, I have a strong fixation that I do it in the contemporary way.
We'll have, if needed, we'll have one-to-one sessions on Zoom also with you, or whoever are interested can join. Right, so go through. Yeah, go through the recordings and let's again catch up and find out. Yeah. Great then. Enjoy your day.
Yes, thank you so much.
Bye.
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 Not ending it. Let it end.